Major crackdown on terror by National Investigation Agency. NIA raids around a dozen locations in Murshidabad and Hernaculum. Arrest 3 Al-Qaeda operatives from Kerala and 6 from West Bengal associated with Pakistan-sponsored terror module. India becomes #1 in global COVID-19 recoveries with over 42 lakh recoveries. Centre-led focused, calibrated, responsive and effective measures of early identification through high and aggressive testing and tracking coupled with standardized high-quality clinical care result in this global achievement. Recovery rate reaches 79.28% with case fatality rate dropping further to 1.61%. Union Home Ministry directs states to ensure uninterrupted interstate supply of medical oxygen. Asks states to see that there is no restriction on interstate or intrastate movement of vehicles transporting medical oxygen. President Ramnath Kovind addresses virtual visitors conference on implementation of National Education Policy 2020 Higher Education. Says NEP aims at reorienting education systems towards meeting needs of 21st century and sets the vision of developing an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing quality education to all. Today is International Coastal Cleanup Day. Environment Ministry announces to recommend 8 Indian beaches for the coveted Blue Flag International Eco Label. Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar says government is committed to clean the beaches across the country as they are testimony to environment in the coastal areas. In international news, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson says a second wave of COVID-19 in the United Kingdom is inevitable. Says the government may need to introduce new restrictions and everything is under review. Good morning. Welcome to English News. I am Anil Thomas. Now for the stories in detail. In a major crackdown on terror, the National Investigation Agency has conducted simultaneous raids at several locations in Hernaculum in Kerala and Murshidabad in West Bengal. During the raids, the agency had arrested 9 terrorists associated with Pakistan-sponsored module of Al-Qaeda. The group was planning to undertake terrorist activities at vital installations in the country with an aim to kill innocent people and strike terror in their minds. A case has been registered and investigation has begun by the NIA. 6 Al-Qaeda operatives were arrested from Murshidabad in West Bengal, while 3 others were arrested from Hernaculum in Kerala in the early morning raids. Large quantity of incriminating materials including digital devices, documents, literature related to terror activities, weapons, country-made firearms, a locally fabricated body armor, articles and literature used for making homemade explosive devices have been seized from their possession. As per the preliminary investigation, these individuals were radicalized by Pakistan-based Al-Qaeda terrorists on social media and were motivated to undertake attacks at multiple places, including the national capital region. Moving to updates on COVID-19 from across the country, India has recorded an unprecedented high of single-day recoveries. 95,880 active cases have recovered and have been discharged in the last 24 hours from home and faculties, supervised care and hospitals. India has been consistently reporting a high level of daily recoveries of more than 70,000 for the last 12 days. The total recovered cases thus stand at 42,08,431. The recovery rate has further escalated to 79.28% and the case fatality rate has dropped further to 1.61%. Looking at the progressive efforts by the Centre to fight COVID-19, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare tweeted saying India overtakes United States of America and becomes #1 in terms of global COVID-19 recoveries. Total recoveries marked cross 42 lakh. The ministry further added that center led focused, calibrated, responsive and effective measures of early identification through high and aggressive testing, prompt surveillance and tracking coupled with standardized high quality clinical care have together resulted in this global achievement. The center-led COVID management strategies have focused on early detection through widespread, easy and aggressive testing. According to the ICMR latest data, 8,81,911 people have been tested in a single day that's yesterday. The total number of people tested so far stand at 6 crore 24 lakh 54,254. The Union Home Ministry has asked all states to ensure free movement of oxygen carrying vehicles without any restriction, as medical oxygen is an important prerequisite for managing moderate and severe COVID-19 cases. In a communication to all chief secretaries of all states and union territories, Union Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla said it has come to the notice that some states are trying to curb interstate movement of oxygen supplies from manufacturing units situated in their respective areas. Some states are also mandating manufacturers and suppliers located in the state to restrict their oxygen supplies to the hospitals of the state. President Ramnath Kovind today addressed the Visitors' Conference on Implementation of National Education Policy 2020 Higher Education virtually. Union Education Minister, educationalists and prominent personalities attended the conference virtually. The President appreciated the efforts of the Education Ministry and other institutions for completing the process of policy making. Speaking on the occasion, the President said that NEP aims to reorient our education system towards meeting the needs of the 21st century. It sets the vision of developing an equitable and vibrant society by providing quality education to all. This calls for achieving the twin objective of inclusion and excellence.
The National Education Policy aims to reorient our education system towards meeting the needs of the 21st century. It sets the vision of developing an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing quality education to all. This calls for achieving the twin objectives of inclusion and excellence. The policy also seeks to discourage rote learning and overemphasis on marks or grades. It seeks to encourage critical thinking and a spirit of inquiry.
The President emphasized on the fact that India has always been an educational power and the National Education Policy will help re-establish our country into a great center of learning, to restore India's glory.
India was a globally respected education hub in ancient times. Universities at Takshashila and Nalanda had iconic status. But today, India's higher education institutions do not get high positions in global rankings. Effective implementation of the NEP 2020 is likely to restore India's glory as a great center of learning.
The President further said that one of the targets of the NEP 2020 is to increase the gross enrollment ratio in higher education to 50% by the year 2035.
One of the targets of the NEP 2020 is to increase the gross enrollment ratio or GER in higher education to 50% by 2035. Technology can help in achieving this target.
Lok Sabha on Friday approved the supplementary demands for additional spending of 2.35 lakh crores, which include a cash outgo of 1.66 lakh crore, primarily to meet expenses for combating the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking in Lok Sabha, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that the bulk of the additional spending sought in the first batch of the supplementary demands for grants would be spent on people-centric schemes to help them amid the coronavirus pandemic. The finance minister also said that probably for the first time the government has sought such a huge amount in the first batch of the supplementary demands for grants.
This is probably the first time that this kind of amount has been ever pitched in a supplementary demand, because the gross additional expenditure of 2,35,852 crores with a net cash outgo of 1,66,983 probably is one of the highest that budgets have seen in this country. And this obviously has brought breakup of how much is the cash outgo, how much is the technical supplementary, and how much is token supplementary during the challenging times. That the additional resources which are being placed in this first supplementary demand for grants largely is going towards people-centric activities so that monies can reach people, and they are going through some of the most critical schemes of the government.
The finance minister said that the government has sought 40,000 crore towards Manrega, thus taking the total outgo towards 1 lakh crore, the highest so far. The budget for 2020-2021 has earmarked about 61,500 crore for Manrega.
मनरेगा लॉन्च करना एक बात है, मगर उसको इफेक्टिवली यूज करना, समय के अनुसार यूज करना, और उसमें गलत कुछ ना होना, और जो पैसा मेहनत करने वाले, रोजगार कमाने वाले के हाथ में जाना है, उनके हाथ में ना जाते हुए यूपीए के समय में, मैं जरूर पॉलिटिक्स में बात कर रही हूं, यूपीए के समय में गोस्ट अकाउंट्स में गया, जो नहीं थे उनके नाम पर अकाउंट था। ये मैं नहीं कह रही हूं, सीएजी का रिपोर्ट कह चुका है।
Well, on the 6th day of monsoon session of Parliament today, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman moved the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code's Second Amendment Bill 2020 for consideration and passage. Replying to the debate on the bill, the Finance Minister said that IBC is not a recovery law. She further said that saving lives of business is a priority under the law.
This particular code, sir, the IBC code, is not a recovery law. The creditors do have all kinds of options for recovery. Saving lives of companies is far more important than enabling recovery of loans which may exist, which may be utilized through various other options which prevail.
While other important bills listed in the upper house today include the Epidemic Disease Amendment Bill 2020, Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan will move this bill. The Banking Regulation Amendment Bill 2020 will also be put up in the Rajya Sabha for passing. The bill is already passed by Lok Sabha. The government is bringing all the three bills in the House after bringing the ordinance. These three bills are being opposed by the left parties and the Congress. In Lok Sabha, the taxation and other laws, the relaxation and amendment of certain provisions of the Bill 2020 have been listed for passing. The Congress party and the Trinamool Congress opposed the bill on Friday. Well, moving to some good news. Union Environment Ministry on the eve of the International Coastal Cleanup Day announced the decision to recommend 8 Indian beaches for the coveted Blue Flag International Eco Label in a virtual event. India's role in safeguarding its coastal environment has also been recognized by the World Bank, which has termed India's efforts and its strategies as a lighthouse for other countries in the region. In order to safeguard coastal and marine ecosystems, 8 Indian beaches were recommended for the coveted Blue Flag International Eco Label. On the eve of the International Coastal Cleanup Day, Union Environment Minister announced at a virtual event that the decision was taken on the basis of the recommendation of an independent national jury composed of eminent environmentalists and scientists. India's initiative to clean up its coastal and marine ecosystem have been applauded by the World Bank, who believe that India's strategy for sustained coastal zone management will act as a beacon of light for other countries in the region. Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar said that the government is committed to clean the beaches across the country. He said clean beaches are a testimony to environment in the coastal areas.
Very happy that people around the globe are launching Coastal Cleanup Day today, and we also have come out with our own hashtag, I am saving my beach. Clean beaches are testimony to the good environment on the in the coastal area.
Blue flag beaches are considered the cleanest beaches in the world. The 8 beaches that got selected are Shivrajpur in Gujarat, Gogla in Daman and Diu, Kasargod and Padubidri Beach in Karnataka, Kapad in Kerala, Rushikonda in Andhra Pradesh, Golden Beach in Odisha and Radhanagar Beach in Andaman and Nicobar. Union Environment Minister said that the issue of marine litter and oil spilling has caused disturbance to the aquatic life, and the government is committed for the sustainable development of coastal regions.
Problem of marine litter and many other problems of spill in oil and everything causes disturbances to the aquatic life. We today are taking our vote to clean up our beaches, and I am very proud that we have started our program, highly acclaimed program BEAMS. So we are cleaning the beaches, and today our beaches are much more cleaner, and many are amongst the best in the world.
The event also saw the launch of India's own eco-label, Beach Environment and Aesthetics Management Services, by e-hosting the flag simultaneously at all the 8 beaches. This is one of the several other projects that the Union Environment Ministry has undertaken for the sustainable development of coastal regions, striving for globally recognized and the coveted eco-label Blue Flag. Taposh Bhattacharya's report, DD India. Well, India's representative to the United Nations, T.S. Tirumurthy, on the UN General Assembly session said that the highlight of the UN General Assembly session this year will be the participation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2 debates in high-level segments beginning from September 21st. Tirumurthy said that the first event is a general debate where the Prime Minister will represent India at the UN and deliver the national statement, while the other is a high-level plenary meeting to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the United Nations.
The highlight will be the participation of Prime Minister Modi in the 2 debates in the high-level segments starting on Monday. The first is, of course, the general debate where he will deliver our national statement. The other is the high-level plenary meeting to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the United Nations on Monday. His address will certainly be the highlight of our participation in the UN General Assembly.
Tirumurthy further said a biodiversity summit will be organized virtually on September 30th with the theme of urgent action on biodiversity for sustainable development. He said this will be the first summit on biodiversity in the UN. Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar will be participating in this summit. He also informed that an important event to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the World Conference on Women will be held on the 1st of October, which will be attended by Union Minister for Women and Child Development, Smriti Irani.
There will also be a biodiversity summit that will be organized virtually on the 30th of September with the theme Urgent Action on Biodiversity for Sustainable Development. This will be the first summit on biodiversity in the UN. Our Minister for Environment, Forests and Climate Change, Mr. Prakash Javadekar, will be participating in this summit. On the 1st of October in New York, there will be an important event to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the World Conference on Women, held in Beijing earlier, and the adoption of the Beijing Platform for Action, which is widely acknowledged as the most comprehensive plan for advancing the rights of women and girls. Honorable Minister for Women and Child Welfare, Srimati Smriti Irani, will be participating in this event, underlining our very strong commitment to women's empowerment and gender sensitivity. I would also like to mention that the Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar, will be participating in some of the ministerial meetings which will be held on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. On the 2nd of October, the UN will be holding the International Day for the Total Elimination of Nuclear Weapons. Foreign Secretary Harsh Shringla will be delivering India's remarks.
Well, time now to take a look at updates on COVID-19 from across the world. The overall number of global coronavirus cases has surpassed the 3 crore mark with over 3 crore 6 lakh cases, while the death toll has increased to 9 lakh 56,000 worldwide. As many as 2 crore 23 lakh people have also recovered from the virus so far. United States continues to top the list, being the worst hit country by the pandemic so far, with the highest number of COVID-19 cases and fatalities. The United States has recorded more than 69 lakh 25,000 cases of COVID-19, with the death toll now over 2 lakh 3,000. In terms of death toll, Brazil stands second on the tally with 1 lakh 35,000 deaths, and there are 44 lakh 97,000 cases of COVID-19 in the South American nation, Brazil. United Kingdom Prime Minister Boris Johnson has given clues that the government may need to introduce restrictions if the country would witness another wave of coronavirus cases. Britain was reported to be considering whether to impose a new lockdown across the country after new COVID-19 cases have been seeing an upward trend across parts of northern England and London. So far, there are over 3,85,000 cases of COVID-19 in the United Kingdom, with more than 41,700 deaths being reported. European nations from Denmark in the north to Greece in the south have announced new restrictions on Friday to curb the surging coronavirus infections in some of their larger cities. Britain, where cases have almost doubled, were considering a new national lockdown, while in European countries like Spain and France, intensive care admissions and deaths are seeing an upsurge. Spain is considering targeted lockdowns in worst affected cities. Authorities in the southern French city of Nice have banned gatherings of more than 10 people in public places following fresh curbs introduced earlier this week in Marseille and Bordeaux. Europe has more than 43,53,000 cases of COVID-19, with the death toll now climbing to more than 2,15,000. Well, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a stalwart liberal on the U.S. Supreme Court since 1993, died on Friday at the age of 87. Ginsburg, a champion of women's rights who became an icon for American liberals, died of complications from metastatic pancreatic cancer. Mourners gathered at the Supreme Court to pay their last respects. Ginsburg was the oldest sitting justice on the Supreme Court, having served 27 years on America's highest court. As one of the 4 liberal justices on the court, her health was watched closely. Ginsburg's health raised the prospect of U.S. President Donald Trump trying to expand its slender conservative majority. Her departure could dramatically alter the ideological balance of the court, which currently has a 5:4 conservative majority. On to sports, defending champion Rafael Nadal cruised past 2019 Monte Carlo Masters finalist Zuzan Lajovic in straight set 6-1, 6-3 to reach his 15th Rome Masters quarter-final. Nadal will face Argentinian Diego Schwartzman in the last 8 encounter. Well, that's all we have time for in this edition of news, but remember to take good care of yourself and also follow physical distancing, wearing your mask, washing your hands and using a hand sanitizer if not possible at all times to keep yourself safe, because we all need to see a better tomorrow. Thanks for watching.